Welcome to Film Zen. What a movie.
What a movie indeed.
What a movie. You know, I don't know if it's great marketing. I don't know if it was a great rescue. But man, from the word go, we've been hearing nothing but problems of this movie.
Right.
The original directors were fired. They brought in Ron Howard. They had to do massive reshoots. And this is what we get. I mean, this movie, you and I were sitting in the entire time. I kept looking, taking shots at you every now and then, like, is it just me, or is this movie good? I mean, it has not dipped. I mean, it started just good, kept going, and then it just didn't stop.
Right.
The credits roll. I look at you, I'm like, that was a good movie. So I mean,
yeah.
Okay. To me, is like the equivalent of it felt like a sequel to Rogue One. You got your sacrifice of characters. This and I mean, obviously, because it takes place years before New Hope. But man, I mean, I am getting excited about Star Wars again, and that's what I love about this movie, you guys. Ever since The Last Jedi, we've been split. It felt like a divorce. I mean, it really did. I mean, like we were not going down right. Star Wars, down right. Disney because
it's gonna suck
because we hate, no, we wanted it to succeed and it did.
Yeah.
And I am just excited. I hope that I'm starting to see a pattern here with now that we heard news today that Boba Fett is greenlit. Yes. By the director of Logan, your best picture pick, yep. My second best picture pick. I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening. There's something in the air, and then of course we're this close of having Obi-Wan Kenobi standalone. So, like we were saying, is this going to be a New Hope universe? Mm-hmm. I hope so.
And like you were saying, the only thing really so far that's come out, the stuff that's not good, it's not Disney, it's Rian Johnson. Because the stuff that Disney's coming out with, I mean, Rogue One and now Solo they're just amazing. And, I mean, like I said, walking out, I'm going to have to put Solo above Rogue One, and I loved Rogue One.
Hey, man, your opinion as a fan, your professional opinion as a Film Zen co-host, go with it, dude. Ride with it.
Yeah, no.
I got your back.
It was amazing, like you said. It was just a fun ride. And I was kind of looking, I mean, I went in with high hopes and low expectations. Not really arms crossed, but all right, I'll start off neutral, but they're going to have to do something to impress me. About 15, 20 minutes into the movie, I thought to myself, you know what? This is already better than both of the last two Star Wars movies combined. I mean, it was a fun ride. It slows down a little bit, but it kind of needs to.
Yeah.
Helps to tell the story, helps to kind of catch your breath, but also puts everything into perspective. And it did a lot of that too. It threw a lot of different things into perspective, and we got to see some stuff that had been mentioned, in other Star Wars movies before, which was a lot of fun.
Exactly. A
lot of fun. Alden Ehrenreich was so much a better Solo than I thought he would be. I know that you had reservations in the beginning. Certainly with the voice. When it came to it. I think he really brought it. He wasn't. He didn't start off confident and cocky. Like Solo. He kind of earned it.
Absolutely, dude. Good. Yeah.
He grew into the part. But even from the very beginning, he was still a likable character. Throughout, he was always a likable character, and I like that. He did some things that he did some very original Han Solo stuff that was.
He did.
That was just like, man, that is a good move. Good move for him to make.
Yeah.
It really helped tell the story. It really did establish a character since it is his movie.
Yeah.
I love the fact, I love Chewbacca, of course. Who doesn't love Chewbacca? But, yeah.
Emilia Clarke was awesome.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that, You know, she really is kind of. If you think, I never really noticed that she really is like a chameleon actress. We talked about this before in Film Zen about how some actors could be chameleons. She really, I mean, this is the mother of dragons for God's sake. So I mean, you know, if she was just really good, just very convincing. And again, what I like about her is that she can look vulnerable and strong at the same time, and I really like that. And when actors can do that. And yeah, she just brought something fresh, you know, to the Star Wars universe. Phenomenal. Just and of course, you know, she is gorgeous, but besides that, again, she's just very convincing actress. I love her.
Yeah, and of course, we have to mention the character who pretty much, in my opinion, stole every scene he was in. Donald Glover.
Oh, Donald Glover.
Lando Calrissian. Oh my God! Like, unbelievable.
And
so smooth.
And I think we forgot to mention that too, is that there's rumors that they want to do a spin-off on him because he was so convincing. So yes.
Yeah, and I'd see that in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm sure that he's got a story to tell, of course, you know. But Donald Glover was so great. I mean, man, he really did just slip into Billy D. Williams' shoes, you know, into the Lando Calrissian character. It was just exactly what it needed. You know, a certain level of levity that certain scenes needed. And I don't know, man, he's just, that's a cool cat right there.
Yeah, I mean, again, like we were talking about with Rogue One, there's a difference between cameo and canon. Lando Calrissian, absolutely. That must have been a gift for Ron Howard.
Yeah.
You know, and let's talk about Ron Howard. I mean, I could not think of a better director to come aboard to take over something that was, I think, more than halfway completed, and they had to do major reshoots. He really doctored it up. But boy, he grabbed the horses by the reins, and he just steered it in this direction. And wow, weren't the special effects incredible?
They were.
It was not a CGI fest.
Right.
He knows how to use special effects, and it's just like there were a lot of effects that were convincing. Like I wasn't sure if it was CGI or if it was an actual set build or actual prop or. Excellent. Sometimes, again, you know, he's kind of a minimalist when it does come to that. Yes, he'll fit it all in one frame, but he won't have 24 different angles on it. He'll just have it go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was great. It wasn't jumping back and forth with the editing. It wasn't overdone with every single special effect and extra everything in it. Yeah, it was framed beautifully. The shots took the time that they needed to take in order to not feel as though you're just changing perspectives constantly. It's just so great. There again, you know, it felt like a kid watching a Star Wars movie.
It definitely had, again, with all the shots. That's what Star Wars is supposed to do, especially under George Lucas's eye. Under his lens, wide shots. He barely had any close-ups. So I think there might have been maybe one or two, maybe a handful in this movie, but almost every shot was wide. And it's like, thank you, that's what's supposed to be.
Right.
So Star Wars is supposed to be a part Western, a part samurai movie. I mean, this is like old school George Lucas, and it really felt like that.
Yeah.
And hey, these guys were right. You know, Mark Hamill said this is a great movie. Harrison Ford said this is a great movie. You know, so these guys were right. Yeah, they were not playing ball.
Right.
I mean, and trust me, these guys and both those guys don't play ball. So, wow, you know, Woody Harrelson always delivers.
Right.
I mean, he's just been great, like in his last decade of his career.
But he was the leadership that they needed.
Right.
You know, in order to progress the story in the direction that it needed to go.
The outlaw story. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And showed up, and he brought another dynamic to the ensemble. You know, which is another thing too. I really enjoyed the way that everybody played a different role, but it all came together in the end. It was just such a joy to watch.
Paul Bettany. Oh man, that was a convincing villain.
That's
the
a bad
look
guy.
in his eyes at when just like again that passive aggression,
Yeah, that third act.
Oh yeah,
that third act moment where it's just like, oh boy. And I think there was a moment where I was about the only one laughing in the theater because I kind of know what's going to be coming up.
Right.
I'm like, We're having a bad guy moment here, kids.
Yeah,
Oh, let's enjoy this.
He's a villain's villain.
Yeah,
you know
it
what I
really
mean?
is. Really is. And
Yeah.
not just because, well, he's the bad guy because we
Right.
say he's the bad guy.
He has scars in his face,
He's-
Brooks.
so
There-
he's- yeah, so
therefore, he's the bad guy.
he's the bad guy.
No.
Yeah. No, he
Yeah,
a little bit, kind of reminiscent of Darth Vader in the sense that
yeah,
the first thing that you see him doing is a bad guy thing.
absolutely.
You know, so you
Apology
established
accepted.
right from the very beginning. Yeah, exactly. No, pretty much the first time we see Darth Vader, he's choking somebody to death, trying to get information. Doesn't really care if he gets it. He's just choking the guy.
Yeah.
He's just gonna choke him until he dies. Then he throws his body up against the wall. Like, that is a bad guy. And he's doing bad guy things.
Yeah.
So you know right away, he's the bad guy, and he's the one that we're supposed to be afraid of. So
Mhm.
I'll be afraid of him.
Totally.
Because that's something to be
Absolutely.
afraid of.
Yes.
He was great. He brought such a subtlety to it as well. Almost a nonchalance about, just being what he is. It was
Yeah.
just it was almost like an afterthought for him.
He was a space gangster.
Yeah, he really was.
And that's, I mean, even in a galaxy far, far away,
Right.
we're still gonna get a gangster, and I loved it, and I also like the point of view this movie took too. The same one with Rogue One is like, just because this is a Star Wars movie, both of these, Rogue One and Solo,
Mm-hmm.
just because it's a Star Wars movie doesn't mean that it's science fiction. Ooh, that's cool. No, man, these two movies brought grit
Yeah.
and brought noir and brought
Right.
brought like the sense of you know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
like you know what I mean, where again both these movies gave you a sense where it's like, yes, they do need a rebellion, yes,
Right.
and another thing I like about both these movies too is that it's not just the Empire that's bad.
Right.
There's a lot of lawlessness going on, and like all over the planets and this and that. So it's like, yes, I mean, it's
Right.
almost like it makes it more multi-dimensional. It's
Mhm.
just like, there we go, and it's just like that's
Yeah.
that's Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah. They show villainy. They show desperation.
Mhm.
They show a lot of the things that make the universe under the Empire something that is it's not really a place you want to be.
Exactly.
There really isn't any real great paradise going on in either of these movies, and
There
I
you
think
go.
that's pretty telling as far as why it is that they're rebelling against the Empire. I mean, well, they're bad guys. So they're bad guys. Well, it just shows a lot of the mismanagement, a lot of the
There you go.
a lot of the iron fist, and under the boot heels and whatnot, and it really does put you into the place of those who are in the rebellion, which is
Yep.
really, really fun to watch.
Again, we talk about too much of the good, but I think there's a little bit. Actually, there was no ugly in this, but a little bit of the bad, and to me, just to be fair. Again, this is Film Zen. We want balance in Film Zen. We can't always we can't like blow sunshine up of films, but all the time. It did seem like at times that the comedy was a little forced. Just a little forced.
Wasn't they didn't try to make it too slapsticky. I'm
Right.
glad that they didn't try to inject
Yeah.
as much comedy as they did in episodes 7 and 8.
And it wouldn't surprise me if on the on the cutting room floor that there was a lot of like just unnecessary slapstick and comedy that made him just pull the plug and go, nope, you know what? Last Jedi is divisive. We do not want we got to save our fans. We got to unite them.
Right.
And I'm really hoping that Solo does unite our fan base. Just do you like Solo? I do. Okay, yeah, high five. And if they
Yeah.
don't, then we're really going to see a division that I don't know is going to be repairable. So that's going to be very interesting. Like you said before we started this, it's going to be really interesting to see what the haters have to say about this.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. But until then, anyways, if you're ready to go to a galaxy far, far away, this is the movie right here. So you know what? Buckle up, hang on, and enjoy this ride. Cheers.